to Foxy News. I'm Gwendolyn Reed.
And I'm Kobe Sucks.
On recent news tonight, we have an update on Chloe McArdle, 28 years old. She did the attempt to swim from Cuba to Florida, which is approximately 100 miles.
She was forced to quit due to multiple stings by jellyfish. Bob Olin reported that they tried to treat her in the water, but it was too painful. She couldn't wear a full bodysuit because
It goes against marathon rules.
it was the fifth failed attempt since 2011.
Now, we're going to turn it over to Harriet Potter. She's live with Chloe McArdle in the boat. Over to you, Harriet.
Thank you, Gwendolyn. I'm here live with Chloe McArdle, the swimmer who failed to try and swim from Cuba to Florida. Unfortunately, she failed due to many jellyfish stings. Chloe, how does it feel to fail?
It feels awful. I was swimming so hard, and I just got beaten by jellyfish.
I can tell. I mean, these wounds are atrocious. Can we get a zoom in on these? Tell me, Chloe, how bad was the pain?
Excruciating.
Did you hear that? It was excruciating. Back to you, Gwendolyn.
Thank you for that, Harriet. Best of luck to you, Chloe.
After this break, our recent update on gun control.
Hi, Gwendolyn Reed here, and tonight I'm going to be updating you about the gun control bill. If those seeking sanity in our gun laws want to succeed, they better prepare themselves for a difficult journey. Many people thought that the Newton massacre changed. The bill was doomed for a number of reasons. The Senate is an extraordinarily undemocratic institution where outsized power goes to the small rural states with strong support for unlimited gun rights. The 57 million Americans who live in California and New York get 4 votes in the Senate, all of which were in favor of background checks. But the 1.3 million Americans who live in Wyoming and North Dakota also get 4 votes, and they were all opposed. The truth is that most of the people who threaten to filibuster the background check bill aren't afraid of the NRA. They're on its side. They don't need to be intimidated or even persuaded. But Grassley and others spread the lie, knowing it would energize the paranoid influence and more cowardly of their colleagues. As one of the lobbyists gloated after the bill was defeated, the gun registry defined the battle over universal background checks. For 15 years, the debate on guns in America was no debate at all. On one side would scream, "They're coming for your guns," and the other side would respond, "Can't we talk about something else?" Now we actually have a debate with 2 sides. Democratic politicians and a few Republicans are no longer so afraid to say that the right to bear arms is not infinite. Like every other right in the Constitution, it's subject to reasonable limits. But if support for new gun measures can become an actual movement again, with letters and phone calls and contributions and door knocking and an unmistakable message to candidates that there will be a price to be paid for going against it, then next time around, they may be. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Gretchen Wieners, and I'm here to talk about Obamacare combatants' fight for attention. It's been pushed off the radar the past couple of weeks by 24/7 media coverage over whether Congress should authorize a military strike against Syria, but the bitter partisan battle over the new national health care law claws its way back into the spotlight on Tuesday. Proponents of the drive to defund the Affordable Care Act, better known as Obamacare, take to the West Lawn of the U.S. Capitol to hold an afternoon rally. A couple of hours earlier, supporters of the law held their own gathering on Capitol Hill to push back against what they call Republicans' attempt to sabotage the health care law. The events come as the clock ticks down to key elements in the President Barack Obama's health care law taking effect. Enrollment in the health care exchanges that form the core of the Affordable Care Act begins October 1st. The GOP senators who are leading the defund charge, Ted Cruz of Texas, Rand Paul of Kentucky, and Mike Lee of Utah, are scheduled to speak at the rally. The measure funding the federal government expires September 30th, setting up another Capitol Hill budget battle between congressional Republicans and the White House. But so far, only slightly more than a dozen few Republican senators have signed up to support the cause, leaving it up to outside conservative groups to rally the base. A senior House GOP aide admitted Monday night to Foxy News that the language on defunding Obamacare would be non-binding. Listen, our goal here is not to shut down the government, House Speaker John Bonner said at a briefing with reporters Tuesday after a closed-door policy meeting with Republican representatives. Both Bonner and House Majority Leader Eric Cantor were booed by many of the Defund Obamacare rally. Preceding the anti-Obamacare rally was an event at the U.S. Capitol Visitors Center organized by two progressive groups, American United for Change and Protect Your Care, to denounce GOP efforts to sabotage the health law and leave millions uninsured. According to a release, a handful of Democratic lawmakers were also attending the gathering. The battle over Obamacare and new attempts to defund the law were generating headlines as Congress headed into recess in early August. Other than former President Bill Clinton's speech last week in defense of measure, however, the story's been mostly pushed to the sidelines by the constant coverage of a possible U.S. military strike against the Syrian government for their alleged use of chemical weapons against its own citizens. And I'm Gretchen Wieners. Thank you for watching.
Hi, welcome to Foxy News. Today we're going to be talking about Obama on 50th anniversary of Dream Speech. King's words belong to the ages. President Obama paid tribute to Martin Luther King Jr. on Wednesday before throngs of people who descended on the National Mall in Washington, D.C. to commemorate the 50th anniversary of his I Have a Dream speech, declaring that his words belong to the ages. King's address, delivered to 250,000 supporters, punctuated the 1963 March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom. It was a watershed moment for race relations in America that has been remembered in a week-long series of events which culminated in remarks from President Obama on the steps of Lincoln Memorial Wednesday afternoon. His words belong to the ages, possessing a power and prophecy unmatched in our time, Obama said of King. We rightly and best remember Dr. King's soaring oratory that day, how he gave mighty voice to the quiet hopes of millions. Celebrities such as Oprah Winfrey and Jamie Foxx were among a list of speakers who addressed a nation that has made great strides in racial equality since King's Dream speech helped bring about landmark civil rights legislation.
Events were planned throughout the day to mark the 50th anniversary, starting with a 9 a.m. interfaith service. Speakers, including various senators and congressmen and NAACP President Ben Jealous, were also part of the commemoration. Former Presidents Bill Clinton and Jimmy Carter also spoke at the ceremony, which included bell ringing at 3 p.m., 50 years to the minute after King called for civil rights with the words, "Let freedom ring." According to a recent Pew Research Center poll, fewer than half of Americans believe substantial progress has been made toward King's dream over the last 50 years. Among blacks, fewer than 1 in 3 say the same. I'm Essica Craig.
And I'm Gwendolyn Reed. Thanks for tuning in.
Hi, this is Foxy News, and I'm Gretchen Wieners.
And I'm Harriet Potter.
We're here today to tell you about the Syrian crisis. President Barack Hussein Obama said Saturday that the United States should take military action against Syrian targets over its alleged use of chemical weapons, but added that he will seek congressional authorization for the move. President Barack Obama has authority to act without Congress, even if it rejects his request of authorization to use military force in Syria. Barack Obama sent to the heads of the House and Senate a letter Saturday with draft legislation that would authorize the use of the U.S. military in connection with conflict in Syria. A French president, Francois Hollande, chatted in a phone call Saturday about Syria, with the two leaders agreeing that the international community must deliver a resolute message. The president is turning to Congress to approve military action against Syria because such a mission has not received enough support across the world and in the United States. Influential Russian lawmaker Alexei Pushkov said in a Twitter message Saturday. UN chemical weapons inspector could take as long as 3 weeks to analyze evidence from the sites of alleged Syrian chemical weapon attacks, according to the Organization of the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons. If the Syrian regime thinks they'll gain by any delay if the U.S. takes military action in the future, they'd be sorely mistaken. A U.S. defense official said Saturday, adding the American military is able to deal with the coming days of uncertainty about a strike. It was around 7 p.m. Friday night that Hussein came to his decision to seek congressional approval, senior administration officials said Saturday. He was wrestling with the decision all week, and there was a debate within presidential senior advisors after his decision on the officials said. Senator Carl Levin from Michigan and the chairman of the Senate Armed Services Committee said Saturday that Obama wisely chose to seek congressional support for military action against Syria. Congressional authorization, he said, would strengthen Obama's decision to action.
The top Republican leaders in the U.S. House issued a statement Saturday saying they are glad the president will seek congressional authorization for any military action against Syria. In the statement, House Speaker John Bonner, Majority Leader Eric Cantor, Majority Whip Kevin McCarthy, and Conference Chair Kathy McMorris Rogers said they expect the House to consider the measure the week of September 9th. British Prime Minister David Cameron tweeted Saturday after the president's speech, "I understand and support Barack Obama's position on #Syria." Obama said that the United States should take military action against Syrian targets. Let me just read it out line. Obama said that the United States should take military action against Syrian targets. However, he said in a Rose Garden address that he would seek congressional authorization when federal lawmakers return for recess. The United States will insist that claims of chemical weapons used by Syria are investigated and confronted by the world community, Obama said. A plane carrying UN inspectors and their cargo of evidence arrived Saturday afternoon at The Hague Airport in Rotterdam, Netherlands. Speaker John Bonner's office told House members that they have access to the classified intelligence assessment on Syria and that the White House will brief all interested members at 2 p.m. on Sunday. Russian President Vladimir Putin said that they claim Damascus used chemical weapons is a provocation, Russian state news agency RIA Novosti reported Saturday. He added that he hopes to take up the matter during a planned meeting with Obama during the G20 summit on September 5th through 6th. A military commander in Iran said Saturday that Israel will face retaliatory attacks if the United States attacks Syria. Jen Hassan Firuzabadi also said that the U.S. offensive would threaten Russian interests. That is all for the Syrian update. Thank you for listening. Hi, I'm Harriet Potter, and today I'm going to be telling you about a brief incident at the Iraq base. At least 47 people reported killed at an Iranian dissident camp in Iraq on September 1st. The violence took place hours after a mortar bomb attack on the camp, which the dissident group Madadin-e-Khalq blamed on the Iraq army. 2 Iraq security forces said that army plus special forces had opened fire on residents who had stormed a post at the entrance camp Ashraf, a site that Iraq's government wanted to close down. Iraqi Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki said reports that special forces had opened fire on unarmed residents. Thank you for listening.
Hi, this is Foxy News, and I'm Eska Craig. I'm updating you on the local news. The Simi Valley Police Department is continuing to investigate the death of a local woman Saturday, allegedly at hands of her son, and the subsequent officer involved in the shooting that killed him. According to the Simi Valley Police Department, the man, identified as 29-year-old Ryan Carnan, shot and killed his mother, identified as Sally Carnan, 67, in the 1100 block of Mellow Lane. Ryan then proceeded to drive a tractor through Simi Valley's Bridle Path neighborhood and began shooting at the residents, forcing officers to return fire and fatally shoot him.
Hi, I'm Harriet Potter, and I'm here with 2 witnesses to the shooting in Bridle Path. Now tell me, Morgan, you've lived there for how long?
14 years.
Have you heard anything suspicious lately?
About a week ago, we heard some shots fired at about 10 o'clock, and we just thought it was some target practicing, some shooting of chickens. It's pretty usual.
Okay. And you, Stacy, you're a friend. How did you react to hearing that shooting?
Well, I didn't know how to react because I've never heard of shooting before, but, you know, we got a little scared because we didn't know what it was, and her cousin Marco was home, and we were freaking out, so we were like, Marco, come in here, did you hear that? And he thought it was suspicious too, so.
What happened after, after you saw, the police and everything? What'd you do?
Well, there was a helicopter that then started surrounding the area, so we left, and part of my neighborhood was closed off due to him coming down on the tractor, and then that is when he was killed, and we already were gone by then.
Okay. And have you met anyone? Did you know the mom or the son? Did you know them?
Actually, there was a bicyclist that he shot at, and we knew her. She was a friend of our neighbor's, but he didn't hit her.
Oh, wow. All right, is there anything else you'd like to tell our viewers?
Stay safe. Stay sane.
All right, well, thank you for letting us know, and we'll be back. Thank you for watching.